Heart-melting moment. Taehyung plays with Jaehyung's dog with pure love and gentle warmth. Hello ARMY. Welcome back to BTS Fans channel. This time, prepare your hearts. Because what we're about to talk about isn't just a cute moment. It's not just an ordinary interaction between a human and an animal. This is something much deeper, warmer, and without even realizing it, it touches the softest part of anyone's heart who sees it. It all began with a simple moment. No big stage. No blinding lights. No loud cheers from thousands of fans. Just a quiet space. With an atmosphere so calm. It almost felt like the outside world had paused for a second. And in that simplicity, there was a figure we all know so well. Taehyung. But this time, he wasn't there as a global superstar. Not as a worldwide icon. Not as someone constantly surrounded by cameras. He was simply himself. And maybe that's where the real magic lies. In one corner of the room, Jaehyung's dog watched from a distance. Its small eyes filled with curiosity. Its steps slow, as if it was wondering whether it was safe to come closer. There was a pause. A small moment that might seem ordinary to some. But for those who truly watched, it was the beginning of something meaningful. Taehyung noticed the little creature. But instead of calling it right away or moving too quickly, he chose to stay still for a moment. Giving space. Giving time. A quiet form of respect. Something rarely noticed, yet deeply important. Then slowly, he lowered himself. From standing to crouching. From above to the same level. Not without reason. Because in that simple world, meeting at the same level means removing distance. Removing fear. Saying, without words, I won't hurt you. And the dog felt it. Its hesitant steps began to change. A little braver. A little more certain. Taehyung extended his hand. Not to pull. But to wait. Waiting until the dog chose to come on its own. And when that distance finally disappeared, something warm began to form. That first touch was incredibly gentle. Unrushed. Unforced. As if Taehyung understood. That trust is something you build, not something you demand. He softly stroked the dog's head. His movements steady, calm, full of care. And in every touch, there was a sincerity that words could never fully explain. The dog began to respond. Its tail, once still, started to wag slowly. Its eyes, once uncertain, now filled with comfort. It moved closer, even closer. Until it leaned against Taehyung without hesitation. And in that moment, a connection was formed. Not something staged. Not something planned. But something natural. Born from safety and warmth. Taehyung smiled. A simple smile. Yet somehow, it felt so deep. He let out a soft laugh. As the dog started acting playfully. His hands kept moving. Sometimes gently petting. Sometimes lightly playing. Sometimes just resting, letting the moment flow. And that is where the beauty truly lives. Nothing was forced. Nothing was exaggerated. Everything flowed, naturally. Time passed. But it felt slower. As if every second deserved to be held a little longer. As if the world itself quietly agreed to pause, just for this moment. There was no rush. No need to impress. No hidden intention behind every gesture. Just presence. Pure, undivided presence. And somehow, that made everything feel heavier, in the most beautiful way. As if even the smallest movement carried meaning. As if even silence was speaking louder than words ever could. For anyone watching, This wasn't just an interaction. It wasn't just a clip you scroll past. Not something you forget a few minutes later. It was a reminder. A quiet, gentle reminder. That love doesn't always arrive in grand gestures. It doesn't need perfect words. It doesn't need to be understood by everyone. It doesn't even need to be seen. Because real love exists in the way someone chooses to be gentle when they don't have to be. And Taehyung showed that in the simplest, yet most real way. At times, the dog made small jumps. Its energy light, innocent, and full of trust. Trying again and again to get his attention. And Taehyung responded, not with distraction, but with patience. A kind of patience that isn't forced. A kind that comes from somewhere deep. Never once looking annoyed. Never pulling away. Never losing that quiet softness in his eyes. If anything, he leaned into the moment even more. As if nothing else in the world mattered. Except that small, shared connection. No cameras. No expectations. No audience to impress. Just him. And a small creature. Meeting in a space where everything felt safe. And at that point, something began to shift. Not in the scene itself, but in the hearts of those watching. Many ARMY began to feel something indescribable. A warmth, slowly spreading. A calmness, quietly settling in. Something soft, yet overwhelming. Maybe even a feeling they couldn't fully explain. Because what they were witnessing wasn't performance. It wasn't something practiced or carefully curated. It was real, unfiltered, unprotected. And in a world where so much feels staged, that kind of honesty stands out. What they saw wasn't just the idol they admire, not just the global star, standing under lights and expectations, but a human being with an incredibly gentle heart. Someone who didn't need attention to show kindness. Someone who could offer comfort, even to a creature that couldn't speak, couldn't thank him, couldn't even understand who he was. And maybe that is the purest form of love. The kind that gives without waiting, without expecting anything in return. No recognition, no applause, no validation. Just giving, sincerely. The moment continued. With soft laughter, light movements, and a warmth that never once faded. Even the air itself felt different. Gentler. Quieter. Almost like it was holding on to something precious. Afraid to let it end too soon. Maybe that's why no one wanted the moment to fade. Because moments like this are rare. Moments where everything feels simple again. Where the world feels lighter. And kindness exists so naturally. But time, as it always does, kept moving. Slowly, gently. Bringing that moment to a quiet close. No dramatic goodbye. Just one last look. One soft touch. And a feeling that stayed. Lingering. And maybe, because it was so simple, it became unforgettable. Because the most meaningful things never try too hard to be. For ARMY, this wasn't just a clip. It was a quiet reminder that behind the fame and the lights, Taehyung is someone who knows how to be present, how to be gentle, how to love in the most human way. And maybe that's why people don't just admire him. They feel something deeper. Because admiration fades, but warmth like this stays. So if you felt it too, don't keep it to yourself. Because sometimes the smallest moments can mean everything to someone else. And in a world that feels loud and rushed, moments like this matter. Today, Taehyung reminded us of that. Not with something grand, but with something simple and deeply meaningful. And maybe that's why it stayed. I'll see you.